The air was thick with the acrid scent of ozone and the metallic tang of blood. Around Peter Quill, the battlefield raged, a chaotic symphony of alien screams, energy blasts, and the booming impacts of godlike beings. This was the Infinity War, and the stakes were nothing less than the fabric of reality itself. In the eye of this storm, Peter found himself face to face, or perhaps more accurately, chest to chest, with Gladiator. Calark, the leader of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, was a being of unimaginable power, his strength and invulnerability directly proportional to his unwavering confidence. And in this moment, his confidence was absolute. Suddenly, without warning, a searing crimson beam erupted from Gladiator's eyes. It was an optic blast of pure, focused energy, hot enough to vaporize adamantium, powerful enough to fell a god. Peter had mere milliseconds to register the horrifying intensity, to feel the heat ripple through the very air before it struck him. The impact was cataclysmic. A deafening crack echoed through the chaos as the blast slammed into Peter's chest, lifting him off his feet and slamming him back against a jagged outcropping of rock. The world went white, then black, then a blinding flash of pain. He felt the terrifying compression, the heat searing through layers, the impossible force threatening to rip him apart at a molecular level. Any lesser being, or indeed any previous version of Peter Quill, would have been instantly annihilated, vaporized, a faint, lingering whisper on the cosmic winds. But Peter, miraculously, wasn't. He lay there, smoking, groaning, his body screaming in agony, but undeniably, impossibly, alive. As the smoke cleared, revealing the smoldering crater where he had been struck, it became clear why. The chest plate of his new suit of armor was grotesquely warped, melted and fused into a mangled wreck, still glowing with residual energy. Beneath it, his body was bruised and burnt, the outline of his sternum clearly visible through singed fabric, but the blast had been stopped. The armor, newly acquired and rigorously reinforced, had absorbed the brunt of an attack meant to kill him outright. It had been his shield, his final, desperate line of defense, and it held. But why did Peter Quill, often characterized by his impulsive bravery, and let's be honest, his frequently reckless demeanor, possess such an advanced defensive piece of equipment in the first place? This was no casual upgrade. This was a deliberate, trauma-informed decision. You see, this wasn't Peter's first brush with a devastating, unexpected attack from someone close to him in this conflict. Earlier in the Infinity Wars, in a moment that tore at the very fabric of his being, he had been grievously wounded by Gamora, not in battle against an enemy, but from her own blade, in a desperate, heartbreaking act of mercy to prevent Thanos from extracting the Soul Stone from her. He had been stabbed, deeply, by the woman he loved. It was a wound that went far beyond the physical. It was a betrayal of trust, a shattering of his emotional core. That act, that agonizing, unexpected knife to the gut from Gamora, fundamentally changed something within Peter. It forced him to confront a terrible truth, that even those you love, even those you fight alongside, could, under extreme duress or for the greater good, become an unwitting source of profound harm. It made him realize that in the chaos of the Infinity Wars, threats wouldn't always come from the obvious villains, and that personal vulnerability was a luxury he could no longer afford. The memory of Gamora's blade piercing his flesh, the searing pain, the emotional devastation, lingered with him long after his physical wounds healed. It wasn't just a scar, it was a lesson. A brutal, unforgettable lesson about preparation and self-preservation in a universe that seemed determined to break him. And so, Peter, with a foresight uncharacteristic of his public persona, took action. He sought out the best armorers, invested his resources, and poured his specifications into designing a suit that wasn't merely practical, but specifically designed to withstand the kinds of blows he had come to dread: sudden, brutal, and potentially from any direction. He added reinforced plating, energy dampeners, and layers of ablative armor, particularly around his core, where Gamera's blade had struck. He wasn't just preparing for the next alien horde, he was preparing for the unexpected, for the unimaginable. This was Peter Quill, the same guy who danced through cosmic battles, whose plans often revolved around a mixtape and a prayer. Yet, beneath that easygoing exterior, he was a survivor. And what truly marks a survivor isn't just the ability to endure, but the capacity to learn, to adapt, to turn past pain into future protection. His new armor wasn't just metal and circuits, it was a physical manifestation of his growth, a testament to his ability to process trauma and strategize for future dangers. The optic blast from Gladiator, a force that should have ended him, became instead a powerful demonstration of Peter's hidden depth. He wasn't just lucky, he was prepared. He had taken the agonizing lessons of the past and forged them into an impenetrable defense, allowing him to live to fight another day. It reminds us that even the most seemingly impulsive among us can possess incredible resilience and a quiet wisdom born from the hardest lessons life throws our way. What do you think about Peter Quill's journey of growth? Have you ever seen a character whose seemingly reckless exterior hides a deeper, more thoughtful core? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into the surprising depth of Star-Lord, please consider subscribing for more stories of heroes' growth and the lessons we can learn from the vast reaches of the cosmos.